Hello everyone. Today we're going to be taking a look at the 10 absolute worst roller coasters that I've ever ridden. These rides are mostly bad just because they're rough and painful, whether it be faulty track work, simply the ride is just kind of old and needs to be replaced, or if the restraints are awful. All of these things can ruin a ride for me, and when I ride a ride, I want to ride it for some good G-forces, some good airtime, and fun, not to be hurt or put in pain or uncomfortable situations. So anyway, all this is very subjective. There may be a ride on here that you got a good ride on and don't hate it, but if this ride's on this list, I wrote it and it sucked. I'm not just going to make something up. And so yeah, every ride on this list when I wrote it was absolutely awful, and I never really want to ride them all again. Of course, I'm an idiot, and if I ever go back to these parks, I probably will subject myself to pain again, just for fun. But yeah, with that all said, let's jump straight into the rankings. At number 10, we have Grizzly at King's Dominion. Keep in mind, this is before the gravity group retracking that's taking place, so in its purest form, basically. I don't know if they're getting new gravity group trains on this ride. I hope they are, but I don't know if you guys know how I feel about PTC trains. I don't like them. They're kind of small. The lap bars kind of dig in a little bit, and this ride's just very bumpy and rough. Definitely not the worst wooden coaster I've ever ridden, and it is a little bit forceful. There is a little bit of airtime, but that does not redeem the pain from this ride. It just kind of hurt my back a little bit, and that's not exactly what I want from a wooden coaster. So hopefully this gravity group retracking is going to make it a little bit smoother and more fun, and it won't be on this list anymore, but for now it's here at spot number 10. And at number 9, we have Steamin' Demon at Six Flags The Great Escape. This is a very strange park, and I'm sure a lot of you haven't even been here, but basically this is your basic corkscrew clone made by Arrow. But this ride has not been taken care of, and I can tell. Every transition just absolutely hurts and slams my head into the restraint, and it's very bumpy and rough. I've ridden a lot of Arrow loopers, and this is the only one that I would consider to be bad. I typically like them because my head clears the restraints, but this ride somehow still manages to cause me pain. So it's here at number 9. At spot 8, we have Coast Rider at Knott's Berry Farm, and if any of you guys are over like 4 feet tall and have ridden this, you completely understand why I hate it. There are these shin guards that just absolutely pin you into the seat, and they dig and they hurt. Aside from that, it's just a forceless wild mouse. Nothing too fun, but the restraints make it awful and very painful, and I'm never riding this ride again. I know it's bad. At spot number 7, we have Roar at Six Flags America. This is one of the older GCI coasters. It has PTC trains on it with those lap bars that I already said in this video I don't like. And to be honest, the layout is really not forceful at all, and it just kind of hurts. Like, it's just super bumpy, and there was something weird when I happened. It was kind of rainy outside, and this probably is part of the reason why, but mid-ride, my foot slipped, and I, bashed my shin on the car of the ride. Like, if that makes sense, in front of where your feet go, there was, a corner that I hit my shin on, and it absolutely ruined the whole ride for me. So, yeah, just not a fun ride, very painful, and there's one more ride at Six Flags America we'll be getting to later on this list. But yeah, Roar is just a horrible ride. I do not recommend it. Obviously, if you're getting the credit, ride it, but pretty much just pain with no forces or airtime. And at number 6, we have all of the SLC clones all around America, and I'm not talking about the good ones that have the new restraints like Riddler's Revenge at Six Flags New England, or like the one at Maury's Piers, which I haven't ridden that, but I want to. But I'm talking about all the SLCs out there that have the original restraints that give you about an inch on each side of your head. So in other words, you're going to be bouncing back and forth, banging your head on those restraints the whole time. I've found that if you hold your head against one side of the restraints real tight, you might be safe, but it's still a really rough ride. They haven't really taken care of the track on most of these. And so, yeah, most of these rides, when you see them, if you want the credit, get it like I did, but otherwise, it's not worth the ride. And at number 5, we have Wildcat at Lake Compounce. This is an extremely old wooden coaster, and it has GCI trains on it now, which helps a little bit because they are a lot more comfortable than the PTC trains, but the track is just so rough and bumpy, and there's a few airtime moments here and there, but this ride hurt my back. Like, it was very painful. I'm 19, I should not be having back pain. And so, yeah, obviously a lot of people don't talk about this ride because it's overshadowed by Boulder Dash in the same park, and I'm glad it is because this ride is absolutely awful. At number 4, we have another bad wooden coaster. This is Hurler at Carowinds. I never got to ride Hurler at King's Dominion, and I'm glad it didn't because it's Twisted Timbers now, and that is way better. But basically, if you want a ride that has almost no force and is extremely rough and painful, well, this ride isn't the most painful, but it's just so rough, and it doesn't bounce up and down. It shakes side to side. It's so weird. Like, it's unlike anything I've experienced. Most rough rides, you just bounce in your seat. but this ride just throws you left and right, especially on the turns. It's so awful. So hopefully Carowinds gets an RMC out of this too, because the one at King's Dominion is my second favorite RMC, so hopefully they could do something like that or better. But for now, Hurl is garbage here at spot number 4. And at number 3, we have Firebird. This was the first ever B&M. It's at Six Flags America right now. It was converted from a stand-up to a floorless, which I'm sure helped. But the fact that this was converted to a floorless to make it smoother and still delivers headbanging the whole time is just mind-boggling to me. This is a very simple B&M layout, just a couple inversions, very short turning drop, so nothing too special. But yeah, every single turn, every single transition, every single inversion makes you hit your head, and it hurts, and it's not fun. So I don't recommend it. One of the worst rides I've ever ridden. And at number 2, we have the worst wooden coaster I've ever ridden. This is Screamin' Eagle at Six Flags St. Louis, and I'm sure there's some of you out there who enjoy this ride. I've talked to a few people who said it wasn't that bad, but when I went last August and rode it, it was just about the most painful ride I've ever ridden. There were a few airtime moments, but I couldn't even enjoy it because the jackhammering was so bad. I was literally like leaning forward and grabbing my back. I'm like, oh, like trying to sustain myself because it literally hurt for so bad. My back, after riding this and the Boss back to back, because they're right next to each other, my back was just in pain for like a week. Like it literally did damage to my back. But I think y'all get my point. This ride's very painful. It bumps a lot. So yeah, here at spot number 2, Screamin' Eagle. And the worst ride that I've ever ridden at spot number 1 is Kong at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom. Now I know at spot number 6 earlier I had all the SLC clones, but for some reason those rides are not as bad as this. Like I can tolerate the Mind Eraser clones and I can tolerate the ones with good restraints, but Kong at Six Flags Discovery Kingdom is just absolutely horrible. It doesn't matter what type of techniques you use, like the one I was trying to say earlier. Your head is not only getting tapped side to side, you're literally getting tossed into the restraint and your head is slammed into it multiple times. The track is so shaky and rough, and it hurts your whole body. It hurts your legs, your back, your neck, your head, all of it. And you know, it's a pretty intense ride, so combine all that with some intense elements, and you're in for a painful experience. So yeah, I do not recommend riding this ride. I would even say it wasn't worth the credit. If I could go back and not ride it, I probably would. But I did, because I'm dumb and I love coaster credits. So anyway, that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I know it was a little bit shorter than the videos I have been putting out lately. I wanted to try to make it a little bit more condensed, a little bit more rapid fire, but keep the same quality and content for you guys. So let me know in the comments what you think about this style, if you enjoyed this video, and what you want to see in the future. If you have any ideas, feel free to let me know. And also let me know what the worst rides that you have ever ridden are. And feel free to drop a like on the video if you have enjoyed it, and subscribe to the channel if you are new or if you're enjoying the content that you guys are seeing. Thank you all for watching. I will see you in the next one.